Hi everyone, so first video review for this week is for Wave in D minor by Laury A. Egan. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or on my blog, then there's a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Wave in D minor by Laury A. Egan. Very poetic, very emotional, and very passionate. So Leslie is offered the chance of a lifetime to compose her opera. She's supported by a very generous patron who sort of puts her up in a location and supports her in doing so. And she's kind of working in solitude, which is a new concept for her. And she has to adjust to her temporary home. She meets Matty, who is a bit of a complication, and also has some opera singers that visit to help her as well. One of the opera singers, Sasha, sort of catches Leslie's eye, and she has to explore all these new feelings and sensations that somewhat mirror her creative works. So I really enjoyed this. It was a really enjoyable story. It flowed in a really rhythmic way. It had lots of ups and downs that worked well, and it sort of alluded to that wave in that title, even though I know that's like a play on words, but I absolutely loved that it had that as well. So it just sort of lent well to being an opera of its own as well, which was really nice. It sort of mirrored that in a nice way as well. But it was exciting and completely different from anything else that I have read in this genre. So the fact there were a lot of twists and turns, lots of unexpected events, and there were some quite shocking revelations, just added to the intensity of all this drama being created. It was like a build-up, a big build-up. Like, I've never been to the opera, but I've seen sort of bits of it, and there's all this build up, and then there's this complete release of tension, and that's a bit like what Wave in D minor is like. But it was a very wonderful relationship that ensued between Leslie and her work, and her creativity was very ingenious. And again, then when Sasha arrived, all that, you know, was also poured into that, and so it was brilliant to see how that sort of affected Leslie personally, but also her work as well. So there was a lot of emotion that was stirred up, and she had to deal with. She had to explore all these new feelings, and some of the drama that accompanied all of this was quite forward, and yet it had a little bit of a feel of being quite forbidden as well. But it was really sort of ingenious and clever. And there were a lot of dark moments in the story. They're really necessary. And there was a lot of harrowing realizations, but it suited this story well. It really lent well to that opera genre and theme again, and it gave that dramatic flair and edge that the story really needed, and really suited it as well. So it was quite sentimental and moving in ways as well. There was a lot sort of threaded throughout the story, that when sort of the big bang comes with everything sort of at the end, it's very moving as a story when you realise how all these characters sort of played their part and what it all means and the emotions and everything. But I really enjoyed this story and all the sensations, whilst being quite immersed in all of Leslie's creativity. So I really hope you'll enjoy it too. I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Wave in D minor by Laury A. Egan, which I really hope you will. If you've read Wave in D minor, I would love to hear your thoughts, so please comment below. Please let us know what you thought of the story. And if you haven't read it yet, but it's on your to be read list, you're planning to read it, or you're now really intrigued and thinking, I really want to read that, again, it would be great to hear from you. It's a really passionate story. It's really enjoyable, and like I say, it had that lovely theme that really suited sort of the plot and story of the book. So it's definitely one that I'm sure you will all enjoy. I really enjoyed it, and can't wait to see what Laury writes next. But yeah, like I say, I hope you enjoy it. Bye.